Hey, this is DeRoy Cruz again, your life applications officer. Before I start, I want to say one thing to those that are coming to my channel for the wrong reason. My channels are meant to be watched. If they entertain you, that's fine. If you think they're silly and stupid, a lot of YouTubers think they're silly and stupid. That's why I started my channel in the first place. If you're gonna watch my channel, be an adult about it. Be an adult. Don't be a kid. Be an adult. And if you feel that these things help you in any way, or if you think these things help you have a dialogue with me, and are able to help you have a conversation with me, that's fine too. But whatever you do, don't waste my time. And don't waste your own time by coming to my channel if you don't have a good reason to be here. Okay? I just want to say that. And I'll probably say that from here on out every time I do anything on two of my channels, because I don't see myself as a comedian. Neither do I see myself as some guy showing his depression or his mental illness on YouTube. I see myself as an American worried about the issues in this country. Okay, I see myself as being political. Okay, when I'm away from work, I'm not wearing a uniform. Okay, I see myself as being political or spiritual about the things that are going on in America. So if you don't feel that I'm making any sense, or if you don't feel that I belong here, I should be making this video, or whatever, be a man about it, or be a woman about it, for that matter, and walk away. Leave it, let it go. Don't come to my channel and waste my time, and don't let me waste your time. You got better things to do than follow me around YouTube, okay, and Facebook for that matter. And tailgating me when I'm not doing anything but practicing my American rights just like anybody else, just like everybody else, okay? So that's enough of that. Now, I want to talk about this Red Ice Network. Real quick before I go to bed, I want to talk about this Red Ice Network. The beautiful blonde-haired white lady who comes on YouTube, and she's constantly saying that white folks are under attack. And as much as I can see where she's coming from, I think this is my personal opinion, I believe she's using what she's hearing in the media, in the news, and she's using this as a way to bring prestige to herself, to bring attention to herself. And she's also using this as an excuse to be racist. Kind of like somebody standing too close to you. This woman, her attitude about blacks and everybody that ain't white. It's kind of like somebody standing too close to you, and all they're doing is standing too close to you, and so you pepper spray them or tase them or stab them with something, or scream for help when they're not doing anything but standing too close to you. And I'm finding out that as a black man, even on my job when I'm wearing a uniform, I tend to stand too close to people. I tend to walk too close behind someone or too close next to them, depending on who and what kind of person they are. Okay? I tend to be a problem when I'm not doing anything but my job. But this Red Ice Network, I really feel bad. It hurts me to my heart to see this woman rant. I feel like it's the civil rights movement all over again. I feel like it's, riots in the inner cities, race riots all over again. Because two wrongs, number one, don't make a right. And when I was coming up in the 80s, white folks understood that. They understood that the knucklehead black dude already misunderstood what she was saying and called it racism, started using the race card. We don't want to say anything else that's going to create more of this nonsense. But this Red Ice woman, as lovely as she may be, and she knows it, she is very arrogant, and she is she's creating a war. She's putting out her battle cry. And I listened to her today. I watched the video. And it made no sense to me. And I watched one yesterday by her. And the one yesterday was, it wasn't uploaded yesterday. But yesterday was the day I watched it almost for the second time. I've seen parts of it earlier briefly, but I watched it yesterday in its entirety, and it was all about her claiming that she was wrong. I wanted to see what she was wrong about. I didn't feel she was wrong about anything. But you know what? She wasn't wrong until she said the wrong stuff. Okay? Now, here's my point. What black American doesn't want to... First of all, let me ask this. What is it that whites and blacks, okay, can't share? Me and a guy at work today was talking. We was teasing this white lady about how we know how to swim. It just ain't gonna happen. We're not going to we don't go to swimming pools in the summertime. We don't go scuba diving. We don't go to the deep waters and, go down to the bottom. It's not that we don't know how to swim. If we had to save our lives, we could swim, and I've done it before. I have had to save my life a couple times, but that still doesn't make me want to be in the water. And I know plenty of black people that love swimming. Okay? And, somebody at work today felt like they needed to teach us how to swim. Listen, you didn't hear what I said. We took swim lessons. Okay? You're not getting it. We took swim lessons. We are just not water people. Okay? Me taking a shower and hopping in the bath, okay, is my water sport for me. Okay? When that nice warm shower water is coming down on me, and I got to keep the water out of my ears, and I got to close my eyes, and I got to, the water comes down, and I got to know how to breathe and all this. To me, that is the same feeling that a white person gets when they go down to the bottom of the ocean. Okay? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I want to go near the water, I go to my bathroom. Turn the water on. But come on. Does that call for separation between whites and blacks? What about our food? Does that call for separation between whites and blacks? If I want to eat certain foods cooked that you want to eat raw, maybe I don't want my dog kissing me in the mouth. Maybe, I'm trying to get where this woman's coming from. Like, what is it that blacks and whites cannot share? Name one thing that blacks and whites cannot share. Name one thing other than the so-called violence alert of black Americans. If we get rid of violence if black folks get their act together, and this is where I sympathize with a lot of white people, the whole, abortion crisis, the child abuse crisis, violence to white people, home robbery, invasions, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that is coming up, and if you look at what's not coming out of people's mouths, but it's right there in front of you, you'll see that more and more black people are showing up suspect. Okay, every day of my life. Just recently told you how them two women got to fighting before it could even turn dark outside. They got to fighting in front of the bus stop. And where were all the white people? Somehow they made sure they were not there to be embarrassed by this mess. But it was only black folks there. But every time I'm at that bus stop, there's so many white people there. Not this evening. But what is it that blacks and whites cannot share? I'd like to know. This woman, this red ice woman, I forget her name, but if you go to the Red Ice Network on YouTube, and you see this pretty blonde-haired, pretty face white woman show up, that's her. I don't think she lets anybody else. Her and then there's the one dude that looks Jewish, that she, one big guy there that looks Jewish that she does a show with. And a lot of times he speaks, but she speaks most of the time. She wants to talk about feminism and how feminism is not part of the white race. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, it's part of every race, especially any race that has been living in America for so many years. You got Asians. Go get all the feminist women together and see how many different races are in any feminist movement. So for this woman to be on the show, having the nastiest mouth, and letting you know, because she got all these people that are going to protect her, okay? For her to say things, she says things that the dude won't get caught saying. He's agreeing with her, but he's not letting it come out of his mouth. Only she comes out and says crazy stuff like, oh, well, we white folks just want to have our own land and have our own place and be left alone. And we don't want all this diversity. We don't want interracial babies. And we don't want blah, 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 blah. can understand wanting a white baby. I can understand wanting a black baby. What I don't understand is where if you feel that you only date white men or you only marry white men, what makes you feel that you can't, that your sister can't be with a black man, or if your sister is what is with any other man except a white man, that's a slap in your face. That's a stab in the back of your race. And you can't bear to stand the presence of your sister because she married a black man. And then them lovely little grandkids, and I've been through this, I've seen this in real time, you don't want to have nothing to do with them because they're not pure white. They're biracial. This is where this woman is taking us. And we've already got people in, I live in the state of Pennsylvania. Right here in the state of Pennsylvania, we already have segregated neighborhoods where white people are coming up to me that have the guts and have the ignorance enough to do so. Coming up to me complaining about their relationships with their biracial grandchildren or their relationship with their daughter's black boyfriend or vice versa. Okay? And I notice it's always okay for a white man to date outside of his race. He can date the whole frickin' planet. He still gets respect. Two people can't not date outside their race. A black man and a white woman cannot date outside their race. If a black man date outside of his race, the black women get mad. But yet it's okay for them to do it. If a white woman date a black man or date anything, now see, white men don't make a big deal about it as much as black women do. Like if white men see a woman that's not in their specific neighborhood or community with a black man, unless they're a skinhead or KKK member or something like that, they won't start no trouble about it unless it's in their specific neighborhood community. But there are gangs that will go out, especially when you leave, when you like cross the border to Canada and Maine, okay? And even certain country-fied neighborhoods here in Pennsylvania. Okay, I've been to some of them where, you know, you step outside of your car, you just messed up. You step outside of your car, you get out of your car, don't matter how nice a car you got. You park your car in the lot and get out of your car with this on, with this brown stuff on your skin. Okay? People look at you like you done lost your freaking mind. They look at you like you got 30 seconds before we call the cops. Something wrong with this picture. What is he doing here? You know, and I've been through it. I can even name the cities. Go up here to Apollo. Now, way back in the 90s when I went to a restaurant right next door to my job, the woman warned me in there to leave. Now, the white people on my job told me, why do you drive all the way over here? Drive all the way over here. There's a restaurant right next door. They got some of the best food. And I went in there And the woman said, "Sir, I think you might want to leave." And I says, "Why is that?" They says, she says, "I don't want to say anything that would offend anybody, but this ain't the place for you. You know, are you getting this? Like, this is not where you, okay?" She didn't come right out and say black or niggers or anything like that. She just simply said, "You don't want, you getting what I'm saying, sir? I don't want to say anything that would offend you, but we don't serve your kind in this restaurant." And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just telling you for your own safety. She's threatening me now. I'm telling you for your own safety. You don't want to pick this restaurant. Same thing happened to me in Toronto at Gatto's restaurant. If anybody knows anything about Pittsburgh, anything about Allegheny County, way up on the borderline of Westmoreland County, Tarentum, Gatto's restaurant, the bike shops. They got their own restaurant. They got their own little places all over Tarentum, Brackenridge. Okay? And as soon as you go into the little town part of Tarentum, you got Gatto's cycle shop, and you got a hotel, restaurant, bar there, and then you have another little restaurant. You have a diner. It's the diner that I went into. And the first time I went in there in my life was back in the 90s. Not that long ago. It was back in the early 90s. Okay? And they told me, "We don't serve your kind in here." And I says, "Oh, is this just for bikers?" And she says, "Yeah, if you want to run with that, yeah, you can say that. But whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? You know." And these things really happen. These things really exist. Okay? To me, I don't see what the big deal is about us sharing this country. I give white people all the credit for everything they've done that I have not done. Let me say that again. I give white people all the credit for all they have done that I have not done. And this woman, this video that I watched today hurt me to my heart, made me want to cry. She got on there and said that we just want to be the right to be white and have our own freedom and raise white kids, have white baby and raise white kids, put white kids in white schools and colleges. I mean, she come right out with all this stuff. Okay? And she says the reason why they hate us, white people, is because we're better. The reason why they hate us is because they know that we can live without them, but they can't live without us. And she's got a point. If the Asians are in on this bandwagon, but there's enough Asians in this country to tell all the white people, pack your stuff and get out. And these Mexicans, these Spanish people, depending on what Spanish group they are, they ain't stupid either. As much as as much as I see this as a black and white country, if white people are unhappy here, okay, I'm going to mix this into the whole Donald Trump thing because I voted for Donald Trump. That's another thing that ticks me off about what this woman is saying. She seems to think that obviously, most blacks voted Democrat, okay, and voted for Hillary. They didn't vote for Trump. And she's got a point there. But she wants to believe that not only have a lot of blacks not voted Republican, but the number, however, is a very important factor of those that did vote for Donald Trump that are African American or black. Okay? That number is big enough to show you that all black people are not the same and that all black people are not weak in relation to white people. Blacks can build. Blacks can own businesses. Blacks can raise their own families. They can have black babies. They can have babies that look black but are really biracial. They can have biracial babies. Okay? They can have babies. They can have, what do you call that? What's that word? Albino babies. Okay? No help from the white race. And one thing that ticks white people off is when you go somewhere and they got this cute little white baby. And then you come in there and you sit right across from them and you got this biracial baby. You can tell that this baby is biracial, but this baby got hair. This baby got body in her hair. Her hair is not wool. And this baby's skin tone is gorgeous. And this baby is just beautiful. And everything on this baby is in place. This little baby girl is going to grow up. And if she decides to be a model, okay, a lot of these white men are going to be chasing her for that little bit of tan, that little bit of natural tan that she got. And everything's going to be just right in place. It happens every day. Okay? But again, let me get back to that point right here, though. There's too many. It's okay for a white man to date the whole frickin' rainbow. White men are marrying Arab women, Indian women, Asian women, black women, okay, Jamaican women, okay, Hawaiian women, mixed women of different, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of white men, especially today, marrying everything except a white woman. And the white women aren't getting mad. You know, they're not sitting there like black women and saying, oh, why are you taking all of our good men? Okay, but black women get mad when a man that they ain't even paying attention to. I've seen black women look at me like I was crazy because I said, hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right. Okay. And then next thing you know, here comes somebody white that I work with. And she says, hey, I got something to tell you. And we're over there talking. And she goes looking at another black girl. You know, and they get aggravated. Wait a minute, wasn't you just playing hard to get with me? Wasn't you just acting like I wasn't good enough? Oh, but now when a pretty decent looking, pretty faced white girl wants to give me the time of day, that's a game changer. That changes the whole game around, doesn't it? This is my honest opinion, and I'm closing. There is nothing. There is nothing that we cannot share. Diversity is good for all in every country. It's not blacks and whites and other melanated races mixed with white people in the general population that is messing up white people. It is not setting the laws. See, and I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to be pissed at me for saying this, but when we were under the power of slavery and Jim Crow, okay, white people made black people feel like they didn't have the option to fail. They didn't have the option to compete with their sins. You know, black people felt like, oh, if a white man gets caught in the act of adultery, or if a white man get caught, spending all his money on prostitutes or whatever, I don't get to do that as a black man because I'm under the microscope. I don't get to do that as a black man because as someone that was recently a slave, I got to really watch my step around these white people. I cannot afford to embarrass myself in front of them. And today it's not like that. Black people don't have any reason to rise above their so-called oppressors. They don't have a reason anymore to be better. And that's the problem that we're having. But in no way, shape, or form does that imply that we cannot share this country, that we cannot come together as an American people. And I really believe this whole thing of having our own segregated neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, white neighborhoods, Asian neighborhoods, Spanish neighborhoods, Indian neighborhoods. I think this is the thing that's destroying us. And if you listen to any love stories, or any peace stories for that matter, between blacks and whites and other races in this country, you'll find out that it was in the general population. It was in a population where blacks and whites and Hispanics and everybody had to live next door to each other and had to breathe each other's breath, had to smell each other's sweat, that made them get along, that helped them to learn each other's cultures and get along. But I'm going to say it again, there is nothing that white people need that they don't need right here in front of me, and that I cannot help them with. And it's the same vice versa. There's nothing that I need that I can't need it right here in a nation where I smell white sweat every day. There's nothing that I need that I don't need right in front of these white people. And there's nothing that I need that a white man can't help me get better. We don't need black this, black that, and a black president to go with all that. What we need is whatever color you gonna be that cares about the rest of us. Donald Trump is collecting black folks after his election. He is converting black folks to his cause, while this woman here thinks that Donald Trump is a white nationalist president. She actually said that. Okay? Donald Trump has nothing to do with her racist white nationalist behind. Donald Trump he believes in America as a superior, I can tell you that, even though he doesn't say it. Let's get real. He believes in America as a strong, superior people that have to show the rest of the people outside of these walls that we are Americans. You don't just come in here and climb up on the stage. You have to be qualified to step up on that stage. You can't just walk up in here. You can't just walk up in here and pick a room and go to sleep in there, or just use anybody's bathroom. No, you have to knock on the front door, my friend, and come into this country. That's all Donald Trump is saying. But he's out for the American people, not the white American people, not the black American people, not the anything else American people. He is here for the American people. And it hurts me to my heart that this woman feels that, and I believe in the laws of separation. I believe that Christians should separate themselves from pagans. But my Bible tells me that if I'm a Christian and this white lady over here is a Christian, her and I are a peculiar race. We are God's people. We are basically in the same race, because if you're a Christian, you have passed from your racial issues and the bondage and the sins and the hereditary sins and satanic links of your own race. You are now part of a peculiar race, which is God's people, the people of the cross, the people of the book. You are now superior and peculiar in your race now. Your race is no longer black or white or Hispanic or Asian. Your race now is Christian. And these white nationalist people, they all call themselves Christians. Would these be the same Christians that took us as slaves? They say, oh no, we don't want to take you back to slavery. We just want a right to be white and have our own. Well, listen. I reserve the right to be an American, which means that I accept the fact that white Americans have done things in this country that I'll never do. Okay, in every walk of life, white folks have done more than I'll ever do. However, white folks in this country, because I am an American, are my brothers and sisters. Okay? To me, just because if I live in the same house with my mama and my daddy, okay, and my big light-skinned brother who's older than me has done, or let's say even my younger brother, has done more for the family than I've done. That doesn't mean you kick me out the family, but that means I've got a lot to learn. Black folks have a lot to learn about how the world works. David Manning said that, and he's black. Black folks have a lot to learn about how the world works. And I give white folks the permission to teach us. But what I don't give you permission to do is walk out of here with anything valuable to this country and leave us stranded. If you don't want to be around so-called black mob violence, what makes you think I want to be around it? If you're sick of welfare, don't you think I'm sick of welfare? If you're sick of people digging in your pocket and taking your taxes, don't you think I'm sick of the same thing? I work for a living. Last I checked, if I work, I don't get privileges. My work is the only privilege I get. I don't get nothing else on the side for being black. Last I checked. So why don't we chill with just saying with making everything black and white and separate the people of America from the people that are going to make this country a better place, from those that are out here to just tear down this country because of their own flesh and their own ignorances. Okay? So, that's all I want to say. Thank you and good night. Thank you for watching. I hope this has helped. If you are a black man struggling with racial issues, or if you're a white nationalist, black nationalist, Jew, whatever, and you people that are watching me to mock me, you people, being you're here, why don't you leave a comment and be honest and tell me who you are? Because I have a clue. But some of y'all see me every day. So why don't you just be honest and say who you are and leave a comment? Because that's what these videos are all about. Instead of looking on here and then going around and telling everybody, yeah, I saw Crazy D-Roy on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to see Crazy D-Roy on YouTube. That's what I'm here for. So I hope you're having a good time. But let's not be idiots. Let's not be children. Let's be adults here. Okay. God bless you. Have a great night. I'm going to bed. I will do more coming soon. So stay tuned. God bless.